Welcome back. Another person has lost their life in Finetown, south of Johannesburg, just weeks after Police Minister Bheki Cele promised to address violent crime in the area. Nearly 2 weeks after a mass shooting, an off-duty police officer and his friend were shot last night. While 29-year-old Lawrence Bongo was certified dead at the scene, the officer remains under supervision in hospital. Community members say they live in constant fear as crime continues to thrive. eNCA reporter Manqoba Mchunu brings us the latest on this. Manqoba, can you tell us exactly what happened here last night?
Well, Andy, what we do know at this particular stage is that this car was attacked last night by unknown gunmen. And of course, they were driving in a car at the time when this attack took place. We understand that it took place around about 8 in the evening. And what we're hearing from people that were there on the scene is that they just heard gunshots going off around about 8 o'clock. And when they went to check, that's when they discovered the 2 men that had been shot inside. One of them is a police officer. We understand he's a constable who works in one of the police stations in the south of Johannesburg. But his friend was also in the car, and he unfortunately lost his life. We understand that the policeman is currently in hospital where he is being treated for his wounds. But Ali, the motive of this killing is still not known at this particular stage. But what is interesting, Annie, is the fact that it happened just 200 meters away from where that mass shooting happened about 2 weeks ago. Of course, you recall, Andy, that there were vendors that were shot there by some of the robbers in that area. And so many of the residents are quite shocked about this. We also spoke to the family. They're quite devastated, Andy, telling us that they don't know why this could have happened. But the family also saying that they want answers as far as investigations are concerned. And they are quite devastated, Andy. They are quite emotional on the scene. They came to see the scene to try and perhaps piece together what happened last night. And earlier on, I spoke to the wife of the late Lawrence Bongo, who of course was the victim in this instance. And this is what she had to say.
I was at work, one of my cousins called me, I have to call back home. And then yes, there's something that is happening, but and then when I called, one of my friends, what, you don't want to know. And ke same time ke tswa ka kwala mosebetsing ka tla ka a ke fitla mo my husband is no more and mangifika bathi ulanda umngani bathi mabahambe baze ngalana usho like uthuntsaliwan and the friend yena u right everyone who right uphumile ugathi yaphila usesibhedlela yena maru right hayi onthwelo ring ikalo my husband I don't know.
Ma, do you know at all if what the reason could be for this, why they were shot at? Is there anything that you're getting as a family?
So I cannot say what is what right now. What I know is and then my husband yena hasaliyo kuhlunga kakhulu into tse di etsala every weekend or every day mo Finetown na go tsagale nix and masingabantu masithathele umthetho ezandleni kuzobe ngathi si wrong amaphoyisa wenza nix. There's nothing that is happening. Kuhlunga kakhulu.
Manqoba, this is not a new situation. It comes after the Minister of Police has promised to deal with the situation. What are members of the community saying about the conditions under which they're expected to live? In fear?
Well, only the community, they're quite disappointed. They're quite upset and shocked, really, at what happened. Because, as you mentioned there, it comes just after days that there was that police in Bizo. And police had made promises, only as far as fighting crime in that community is concerned. The minister saying that they're going to deploy the armor beretta in that place. But also, there will be increased police visibility in that area. Because some of the complaints that emanated during that in Bizo were around the fact that police were complacent when it came to doing their jobs. Police were not responding. responding. They're not arriving on time to some of these crime scenes. And really the community saying that they feel that the police are simply letting them down. They are failing them and they're not servicing this community. So they are saying, Ali, that if Amaperete had been deployed, as the minister had promised, of course, just 2 weeks ago, that deployment, they say this could have been prevented. And so they are saying that the police have let them down again, given the fact that there were new promises that were made on Monday by the police minister. We know that there's investigations that have been launched into these 3 police stations. But in terms of visibility, Andy, the community is saying that up until now, nothing has changed. In fact, when we were there for about 5 hours in that community, we only saw one van in that community. That tells you, Andy, just how, absent police are in terms of visibility in that community. So community members demanding answers. They want an explanation as to why police are still not deployed in that area. But take a listen to what some of them had to say with regards to this.
Kuyasixaka ke ngoba nobaba uBheki Cele wayesithembisile ukuthi hayi amaphoyisa azobonakala amaBhereti. Kwakubonakala iprivate A1 eyayilungiselela yena kulawo malanga ezofika. Awakafiki amaBhereti.
Amaphoyisa asenzele phansi if ever mhlambe bekaveza izithembiso zawo ngabe mhlambe nalento ayenzekalanga ngokuthi mathi igebengu ngathi ziyangena bezizobona amaphoyisa amaveni amaphoyisa ukuthi singakwazi ukusebenza so asibhekisela phansi amaphoyisa ngokungabonakali
asakwazi nokulala ebusuku ibhame echuma la eFinetown hayi asakhona ukuphumula hleze sithukile makushaya nje o5 ingane sesizicocele endlini la.
Manqoba, have the police responded to this latest shooting with an explanation as to why in the time since the Imbizo they had not beefed up policing as promised?
Well, we did pose some questions to the police as far as that is concerned. And what they did indicate to us was the fact that they were investigating this case firstly. But as far as the deployment is concerned, I did contact the office of the minister, Bheki Cele, just to ascertain as to why not the Amaperete have not been deployed in that area. And what they were told me, and is that those are questions we should be posing to the province. We did try to get an answer as far as that is concerned, but the police at this time saying, Andy, they're still investigating the circumstances. They couldn't really give us, an answer as far as that deployment is concerned. But of course, community members saying that they want to see those boots on the ground. They want to see those policemen deployed because they are saying that, their lives are at stake. They're saying that they fear for their lives. So we're still going to pose those questions as soon as we, are able to speak perhaps to the provincial commissioner just to ascertain why not. Because we understand, Andy, that it's actually the provincial police that deploy these tactical response team members. So they are the ones that are responsible for the deployment, and they are the ones who can answer to that deployment.
Excellent. Thank you very much for bringing us that story. That was eNCA's Manqoba Mchunu.